Hey, you guys, it is Smith of AnJaNell, and as you can see, I have a different little setup today, all right? I'm sitting at my table, and we are going to do an introduction to zippers. Okay, y'all, so as you can see, there are a ton of different zippers, metal, and all different sizes, 4-inch, 7, 12, like there's zippers in every single color, every shade you can think of, all different sizes. So we are about to dive straight in. All right, so I have some zippers here that I really wanted to just kind of show you and talk you through and explain to you before we put this into a garment. I also want you to do this quick exercise, especially if you're a beginner, if you're on like an intermediate level, if zippers were always an issue for you. I want you to do this exercise. I can honestly say that when I was in fashion school, I dreaded zippers. I mean, my instructor always made me take them out and do them over and take them out and do them over. They were so hard for me, but I feel that I can help you to avoid all of the stresses that I had with zippers, because I now have an easy way of teaching this and teaching you how to put in the zippers, okay? Now, the only brand that I really highly recommend is this brand called Coats and Clark. Coats and Clark. They have instructions on the back, like if you accidentally bought a zipper that was too long, they show you ways to shorten it without ruining the zipper, okay? But I love this brand. They're just really good. So let's get into what you're going to see here, okay? These two are the main ones that I want you to see, so I'll do those last. I'm going to show you these because we're not working with these right now. These may be later down the line, but if you notice, at the top of each of the packages, they have measurements for you. Lets you know how big they are. This one says it's 28 inches, which is 71 centimeters. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it shows the measurements here. It always shows you if it's a separating zipper. This one says it's a dual separating zipper, which means, and this one is long because as I said, it's 28 inches. What a dual separating zipper is you see a zipper on the bottom and on the top. So you know what that is. You can unzip it from either end, and your zippers can meet, and it actually separates on the bottom. It doesn't stay attached. So you see this a lot of the times on like coats. That's really the only thing I can think of right now. I'm having a brain fart. This one is a metal zipper. Now, this one is a little bit heavier. It's long as well. I just purchased a lot of these a while ago when I was playing with different things and different designs that I were doing for clients. But this one is 24 inches, which is 61 centimeters, and it shows right here separating, okay? Which what that means is at the very bottom, it actually separates, okay? So when I unzip this, it comes out, okay? So again, you're familiar with this style on like jackets and coats, okay? Now, this is the thing about the metal zippers, because they come in gold and they come in silver, and sometimes this fabric, you can find it in all different colors, even though it's not going to show. The metal zippers I love. They have a really clean, sleek look. I know you guys have seen like some dresses with the zipper going all the way down the back side. They look really good. But, okay, yes, there is a but. I do not like metal zippers for the simple fact of they mess up so easy, okay? And what I mean by that, I've put metal zippers in garments, and I always find myself after like maybe 2 or 3 wears, the zipper being stuck or a tooth coming out. Metal zippers also, if you put the garment in the wash, something about that water hitting that metal, I just never have good luck with zippers. I love the look. If it's something that I'm only going to wear maybe one time to like maybe a formal event or something like that, I'll throw a metal zipper in. But I highly recommend the plastic over anything because that's just been my issue. And I'm not just talking about garments that I've designed. I'm even talking about things that I've purchased from department stores and quote unquote high-end department stores. Even in purses, you see a lot of the metal zippers. And I always have an issue with them getting stuck, teeth falling out, them separating and breaking open. I just have so many issues with metal zippers. So I don't really recommend those. But you do it, you try it, you test your luck, but just keep that in the back of your mind. That's my experience over almost 10 years of experience, okay? So I'm going to move these aside. I want to show you these. This one is an invisible zipper. And this one is just like an all-purpose zipper. So I'm going to show you those. There we go. Got to put my hand behind it. All right, so you see the measurements on top and stuff like that. They give you the instructions on the back for shortening the zipper. Let's get this bad boy open because these are the two that I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you the difference in the look of these and the difference in how to put them in. So they come on like a little step-by-step thing. It has one staple in it. And look, they even give you some steps in here, some instructions. Look, that's a pattern. They even give you some instructions on here on how to put them in. Okay, the invisible zipper, if you notice, you don't see any teeth, which is why it's called an invisible zipper. Okay, really, really sleek. It's invisible because the way that you sew these on, you really don't even know that the zipper is there. All you see is this little notch. So it's super, super classy. It does, however, have teeth. It's just on the back side of the zipper. The top side is going to look like this and just going to be really closed, really tight together. Then you have the all-purpose zipper. And I'm going to show you how to put this in first. Same thing. It comes on this little instructional thing showing you how to put it in, which I think they're genius for putting this in here for like self-taught or beginners. But let me get this staple out. This zipper, if you notice, is completely different. This is probably what you're used to with the exposed teeth. So this one, the teeth is on the top where your zipper sits, and on the back is really closed off and smooth and clean. So completely opposite looks if you look at both of these together. Both of these have the stopper on the bottom. Okay, so if you open it up, it doesn't separate. It stops. Okay, so it has a little metal stopper on the invisible zipper because, again, the goal is for this one to be invisible. There's no real like metal stopper in there. Instead, at the back of it, at the bottom of the teeth, it's like almost like they glued it. It's like a plastic right there just to keep it extremely smooth. So we're going to play around with these two types of zippers today, the all-purpose and the invisible zipper. So let's get into it. All right. So if you notice here, I have my back pattern. I traced my back pattern and I went ahead and did all of my labels. You know how I do. And what I did was I added 1 inch to the center back. Okay, this is for your zipper. This is also going to be your fold line. So I marked 1 inch for zipper and fold line in here. Another thing that I did was I went ahead and I serged this all the way around. You don't have to serge it all the way around, just, individually. But before you put your zipper in, you want to make sure that this center back is serged, and you want to make sure your neck is serged. I went ahead and did my armhole as well. The shoulder seams you can serge once your two back pieces or your back and front pieces are together, and the same with your side seams and your bottoms. Okay, now what I did, and I went ahead and did this And you want to make sure you always have an iron. I have my little table ironing board here. But you always want to make sure you have an iron when you're designing any type of garment so that you can, press out your garments and get them as smooth as possible. I went ahead and folded my placket for my zipper. I have my other back piece here, and I already folded that back as well. You want to make sure that these are extremely even. You want to make sure that you're going in exactly 1 inch, even if that means, do that to the best of your ability. Even if that means just piecing it, piece by piece, putting dots, doing whatever you have to do. Make sure it's exactly even. Okay, so these are my 2 back pieces, and this is what it's basically going to look like when it's together. Okay, so let me get my zipper. This is the all-purpose zipper. I'm going to do it in blue for this educational video. Okay, and this is an 18-inch zipper. Don't worry about the zipper being wrinkled or just kind of bunching up. You'll be able to straighten it out, and once you get it in there and sewn down, it'll straighten out on its own anyway. Okay, you don't want to put an iron to this because it's plastic. Okay, so you can mess it up. Now I wanted to point this out. Even though it says that this zipper is 18 inches on the package, when I measure this, it comes to 19 and a half. Okay, that is because they added some allowance right here underneath the notch. You see that there's about 1/2 inch right there. Then up here, there's also more allowance right above the metal parts of your zipper. Okay, that's the stopper. So you want to keep that in mind. What we're going to do is we're going to put a stitch in the back so that we can lay our zipper extremely smooth and extremely even, okay? But the first thing we have to do is get our measurements intact, okay? We're not going to alter the top of the zipper at all. We're not making any alterations to that. So you can put your zipper, just lay it all the way up to the edge of your neckline, okay? But it's down here where you're really going to make some edits, okay? You want your zipper, the placement of it, you always want your fabric to stop above this little metal notch, okay? So how do you do that? Well, the very first thing, since we have this all laid out, is right above this metal notch. I mean, directly above it, if you can. You can make a little mark or you can put a pin. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our back pieces together, okay? Basically where we folded, we're going to put those together. And where we made that notch, we're going to put a seam right here. So we're literally going to do a small stitch from here, back stitch, down to here, and back stitch at the bottom of your garment. And I'll show you what that looks like. So here's what it looks like. Okay, and I'm going to show you a couple of different angles so that you can really see. So you see all of this opening. This is for the placement of the zipper. And down here, I basically stitched directly in that fold. So you can see my red thread. Let me do the other side. You see that red stitch is directly in my fold line. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the right side of your garment. Okay, and we're going to press this out even more to make it extremely flat. Okay, see how pretty that looks? And then on the inside, do you see how clean that looks in your back? Just to have that. And I just recommend serging this first. But yeah, we just basically sewed directly into our fold line. All right. Now here comes the fun part, the zipper. Okay. So with this particular style zipper, the way that you do it, I just turn my garment right side out. I'm going to open this up and I'm just going to pin this all the way down to where the teeth is sticking out. The only thing you're going to see are teeth. Okay, look at how clean that is. And then you're going to top stitch. So I'll show you how to do that as well.
Shall we begin?
All right, so we are on the machine. I turned around some of my pins on the left side, which is the side that I'm going to start on. Okay, the fabric is facing me. We're on the right side of the fabric. So on the left side, this is where we're going to start sewing. I like my pins to face me. So the ball of the pin is facing me. But if you notice on the right side, the pins are away from me. But guess what? We're going to flip it. This is only going to be one full stitch for the entire 18-inch zipper. But this side, the pins are facing away from me because we're going to flip our fabric. So guess what? The pins will end up facing me. And so I'm about to stitch all the way down. I'm going to show you how I turn it around. And then we're going to go all the way back up. We're going to back stitch at the beginning and the end of this stitch. All right, so if you notice, I stopped about 2 inches above my actual zipper. And so let me show you how to do this. I put my needle down, okay? That's using the notch on the right side of your machine. You just spin that towards you. It'll put your needle down. I'm going to lift my foot up. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put those back pieces together to where I can zip my garment. If you have to move it, move it. That's why you put your needle down. And you're going to zip it up. You don't have to zip it all the way up to the top, but just zip it a little. Then you're going to get back in position. Okay. So adjust your fabric. If it moved a little bit, get back in position, put your foot back down, and you're just going to pick back up. We're going to go all the way down to this needle, which is above that metal notch. My metal notch is about right here. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to touch that needle, and I'm going to do the same. That pin. I'm going to put my needle down. I'm going to lift my foot. And now I'm just going to turn it. Put my foot back down. And you're going to do just a few stitches going towards you. You can even hand do it if you want, but you're just going to go to the right side of your fabric, back stitch, then come back forward. So what we're making basically is like a rectangle, okay? Then you're going to get in position, okay? Put that needle down, lift the foot. You're going to turn it, put it down once you get in position. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way up to the top. Don't forget to back stitch at the very top. So we're just basically doing the same thing. Run over those teeth. And we are just going to go all the way back up to the top. All right, so let's just take a moment to just really admire that zipper. Do you see that? And you can see very, very minor flaws in mine. But that's only because I use a red thread on off-white fabric. If you use the contrasting color, then this would look absolutely flawless. Some of y'all saw some string kind of in the teeth down here. I actually ran out of thread and I had to pick back up where I left off before I went around. But, you see your little stitch right here, which is holding it. And then let's flip it over. And, of course, we made sure that it can zip and unzip. And it just looks really good. It looks really clean. If we flip that over, guys, look at how clean the inside of your garment will be if you just take your time. If we just, again, acknowledge that zipper, look how well it's in there. Look at how flat it's laying. Those stitches look really, really good. So this is how you put in this type of zipper. Let's go ahead and do the invisible zipper. We're still going to keep the same placket. Is same thing almost. I'll show you. Let's get started with the invisible zipper. All right, a couple of disclaimers before we do the invisible zippers. And this is why we're just practicing first, okay? Instead of me doing the full 1 inch like I did with the regular zipper, notice anything? This is only 1/2 inch. I also try my best to iron that fold back out because I did not want to crease like I did with the other zipper, okay? We did still keep an opening. You know, we did our placket so that the notch from the zipper is going to be behind here, okay? And I can press this half out, just not my top half, if that makes sense. Now, let's look at the invisible zipper, okay? Very first thing we're going to do, I'm going to flip it over to its right side. And I'm not going to even touch this side with the 1 inch. I think it would be really cool if you fold up your pattern and you put it away like this. And make a little note. On this side, we added 1 inch for the regular zipper. On this side, we only did a 1/2 inch. And so for invisible zippers, you only need a 1/2 inch seam allowance. But that's just me, okay? So let's fold this half back. And we're just going to look at this, okay? Imagine that your zipper is going to go in just like it typically would, right? You're going to lay the right side on the right side, the left side on the left side. But this is the tricky part. And some people feel like the invisible zippers are harder. I honestly think they're a little bit easier, okay? And I'll show you why. This part right here, instead of sewing it down flat, right? We're going to flip it to where the teeth are up. So you're basically putting your right sides together. Okay, so we're flipping that. So what that means is when you get down here to this part, you're going to move the entire other half of the fabric out of your way. So you're literally going to just line this up with the teeth up. You're going to back stitch at the top, come all the way down, and back stitch at the bottom. You don't even have to do that notch in the middle. That is an invisible zipper, because when you zip and you fold back, it's going to look as if there's no zipper at all. Very, very clean. I'm going to get on my sewing machine and show you how to do this, because you will have to change out your foot for the first time on your sewing machine. Okay, and as always, I don't want to rush you guys, but I wanted to get up really, really close so you can really see. Where I serged that 1/2 inch, it's lined up with my zipper perfectly, okay? The teeth are on this opposite side. I put my pins in here, and guys, the reason why we're going to change our foot on our sewing machine is because with the invisible zipper, you want to get as close to the teeth as possible. That's why my pin is so close to the teeth, because you're not going to be able to run over the teeth like you were able to do with the other zipper. So there's a lot of differences. And another reason why you want to get so close to the teeth is because when you flip it over, you don't really want to see the fabric here. You only you're going to cover almost everything. And the only thing you're really going to see with this type of zipper is the little notch at the very top from the actual zipper, okay? So let's get on the machine. Okay, so I have to move around real fast so that I can show y'all something, okay? Because we're going to take this foot off, and every machine should have came with a zipper foot. If you notice, it looks different. It's kind of rounded on the top. It gives you 2 different options on what's best for you if you want to kind of hook it to the left or to the right. It has these little notches in here, but it looks different from the first foot, okay? So I'm going to just kind of go around to the back of my machine. And for my machine, I have this little black, it's kind of like a switch. But if you push it, it's a switch and a button. You got to push it up. What it did was it automatically released my foot. So you see that? It came straight out. And then we're going to put this foot on. For me, I like it like this. And if you can't see this really good, even though I'm trying to get my camera as close as possible, if you cannot see this, just go to your instruction manual that came with your sewing machine, and you'll learn how to swap your foots out. But you just have to line it up exactly. It's a little lip. There it is. And it just grabs it when you pull this little lift right here down your foot, okay? Thread the machine as normal. As a matter of fact, I don't even think my thread came out. Nope, it's still in there. All right, and this is going to allow you to get extremely, extremely, extremely close to your zipper. So you have to play around with this foot because it gives you a couple of options. Like you'll see, can't see it that well, but you'll see like this little C-shaped right here. And that's because I grasped mine on this side. But if you're more comfortable with this side, move the foot over. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oops, there we go. I just let it go. You can move your foot over. It gives you two different options, basically, left or right. And you just do the exact same thing. I'm going to switch it back over and I'm going to sew the invisible zipper on. Okay, so as you can see, this foot allows you to get all the way up in here. You're even going to take your hand and roll. It rolls a little bit. You want to get as close in there as you possibly can, okay? So I have my my needle down. Let's go ahead and get started. Don't forget to back stitch. And you want to hold your fabric and then, like I said, just kind of open up. Roll open those teeth a little bit and get as close as you possibly can, going all the way down. All right, I have it all done, and this is what it looks like. So as you can tell, you can barely see that there's a zipper. You only see that notch, and it opens up so flawlessly. It's almost like it's just kind of hidden. It's literally hidden in there. On the very bottom, you may have had a difficult time with this. Take your hand needle and thread it and do it by hand. That'll save you a lot of time.